What up, y'all? That's here with another banger. Today, we got a very special video. It's not going to be too long. I'm just going to give you my quick thoughts on why I believe Zuko, from Prince Zuko, from Avatar The Last Airbender, the cartoon, is the greatest character in all of fiction. And when I say that, I don't know what y'all consider it, but I consider it like anime, regular TV shows like Breaking Bad, Squid Games, anything. I think he's the greatest character on TV of all time. Y'all might say I'm crazy for that, and a lot of you won't, because a lot of you do believe this, and I'm right with y'all with that. But I think that this man is just the greatest character of all time. First of all, we're talking about the greatest cartoon of all time, even over SpongeBob, in my personal opinion. This show is better than any anime. I mean, everyone just like knows this. Like, this isn't like, it's not like up for like debate. You know, they got some movies coming soon. I cannot wait for those. I cannot wait to review those, whatever it is, react. However, I'm gonna put content with those. I do have an Avatar The Last Airbender character tier list out right now. Go check it out, bro. Hey, dog. But let's get into the reason why I think Zuko is the greatest character of all time. First, obviously, what is best for him, the character development. And I don't think I've ever seen character development as good as his. I've never seen it. You go from someone who has lost all his pride, lost all his honor, who was grown up in the Fire Nation, who was taught like the Fire Nation was good, who his dad is the Fire Lord, and I mean, as the show goes on, you get to know his past, and with his mom, and with his sister, and why he had the duel with his father that gave him the scar that reminded him every day that he needed to find the Avatar, and it was the only way to come back to his home. He was out with his uncle. His uncle was the only person who stayed with him, who believed him was a real one to him the whole time. Shout out Uncle Iroh, one of the greatest mentors in all of any TV show ever, right? So we're gonna go with his character development. So that's how it started, and throughout the show, he's chasing the Avatar, right? And through that, he's losing his way. His uncle is trying to help him, right? He ends up in Boxing Day, right? He's about to be a good guy. He's just like sick of this. He doesn't care about his honor anymore. He just wants to live a normal life, right? In Boxing Day, right when that happens, right at the peak of him starting to change, to become a good guy, he runs into his sister, and then he goes back to his evil ways, bro. And throughout that, there's a lot of context that I'm not going to go into, right? But a lot of stuff happens, and it's really bad how he wanted to get his honor back, and how he was like kind of like the main villain, and then he finally started to change a little bit, right? And then he takes his shot to fight the Avatar again, and he does it successfully. They kill him, supposedly, even though obviously he wasn't dead, right? And then he returns to the Fire Nation, and he still feels empty, bro. He still feels empty. Everyone thinks he restored his honor. He knows that didn't matter. He knows he still feels empty, right? So then, on the day that, and this is all just his character development, I'm just really explaining it, right? The day that the Avatar and his friends decide to attack and be like, I'm alive, right? The day of the Black Sun, right? Even though, obviously, the Fire Nation knew that they were coming, and even Azula knew that Aang was still alive, so did Zuko, right? Zuko betrayed the Fire Nation. He goes to his dad, says, where's my mom? Says a bunch of stuff. He says how Azula killed him, because Azula let Zuko take the credit, because she knew that Aang was still alive. And then Zuko has a face off with his dad, redirects his lightning, and then he goes to the Avatar right after the little war, which was unsuccessful by the Avatar, and says, let me train you. And then after that, the good guy he is, bro, it took a little bit for them to accept. He goes through a mission with pretty much everyone, with Aang to teach him firebending. They go to the Fire Masters. They free Sokka and Katara's dad from the prison. That was the mission with Sokka. Then it's all life-changing missions, showing the development, showing him helping them after all the tragedy, and how his whole life was to be in the Fire Nation. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention this, he betrayed his uncle. He betrayed his uncle, who was rotten in prison after he betrayed him in Boxing Day, when he was about to be good and then went back. I forgot to say that. And his uncle was the most important character to him. His uncle was always with him, always tried to tell him he can have a better life. They had a tea shop in Boxing Day, everything. He just wants to live a normal life. Their uncle is one of the greatest mentors, one of the greatest characters, right? And then that betrayed him. And then he goes with Katara to find the person that killed Katara's mom. Just making up for it, being a good guy. And then even at the very end of that, before the comic, which was what really mattered, bro, this man made peace with his uncle again. his uncle was able to break out of prison because, you know, he's a beast, and he made peace with him and everything was okay. And the only reason why Iroh's Max, he lost his way, which he did, and he found it again, and then found Uncle Iroh. And then the last couple episodes, of course, the comment, bro, we got him versus Zula was different. That doesn't really have to do with development, but he beat Azula pretty much, even though it was like he took the bullet for Katara, and they ended up winning. Katara ended up being clutch, whatever, right? And Zuko was way stronger than Azula at that point. At that point, it was Azula was stronger than him the whole show, but, you know, Zuko did get stronger throughout the show, and we'll go off of character development in a second here, right? I'm just finishing it up, but that was the end, and then he became the Fire Lord, was friends with Aang in the last episode, right? It was all good, amazing character development. And it also, if you read the manga or the comics, whatever you want to call it, whatever after it, you know, him going to find his mom, and even when there was two sides, when like I think the Fire Nation and the Earth and the Earth Kingdom were like still like kind of battling for like certain like, I guess, spots in the world, whatever. I don't know exactly what it was, but I did read it. I read it a while ago, right? And I don't read manga. Y'all know that about anime, but I did read these comics. I want to know what happened next in Avatar: Last Airbender, and even him as the Fire Lord still was developed. He was still kind of stuck in his ways a little bit. Didn't know what to do. Kind of was biased toward the Fire Nation, but then he ended up being, you know, developed in that. During that he gave the land to the Fire Nation. Then at the end he didn't, because he knew that what was the right thing to do. His character was still developing. Even as a Fire Lord, he still kept going. So his character development is off the charts. I think it's the greatest ever. And I said all that, but you gotta obviously watch it, and which you probably did, obviously, because you're here, and you'll know the context towards it. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. We can talk about him as a character. Even just him as a character was like, his character is amazing. I basically explained his whole character, right? And then his development as a character, right? So the character is done. We'll talk about him, his strength, right? He was always strong. He was always strong, even though he was a little weak sometimes. You know, he was always, even though he's mentally a little weak, he was always very strong. You know, he's just a cool character in general. Like, he's just a really cool character in general. Like, he's like the main villain to, then there are people like stronger than him that are the main villains, and then he's like he's one of the most important characters, you know? Like, he's just like, he is like damn near the most important character in the show, bro. Without him, this show is not good. I mean, he was the one that started off chasing Aang. Like, he was the one that got the show started and was just there the whole time. Even in the North Pole with Zhao, with General Zhao and stuff like that. And then when he captured the Avatar, and then, you know, like, he was just a good dude. Like they were always foreshadowing at him being a good dude, which he was. Which obviously in the end he was a really good dude, a hero. But it's just the way he is. And then we can go to, like, I mean, him as a character, like he was a funny character too, like, especially when he was like not like as serious. His emotions, like, there was a lot of different kind of Zuko, so it's kind of hard to just pin him into one character. Like, he was a lot, and that goes along with the development. But that was dope. His design was always fire. Like, the scar was just fire. Like, you were just able to tell, like, he was always important. Like, he was like, God, a scar. Like, why does he have a scar, you know? And then that was always dope. The way he firebended was really good. He was able to learn how to redirect lightning. And then even when he went to the Masters of Aang, that's when he got really, really probably mastered firebending, because he probably wasn't even a master himself until then. And then was able to help Aang with that. And then, what else can I say about him? Like, what else do y'all want to see in a character? I mean, personality, I like his personality personally. Some people might not have, some people might call his bitch, but those bitch characters are always the GOATs. They really always are the GOATs, because their development is off the charts, and their development outdoes it, right? And especially with Zuko, because he just found his way. He just found his way. And I'm kind of like thinking about it, like Sasuke and Zuko, they're kind of a bit like I think Zuko's a little better, but like they're kind of like the same, like even with the development, all that shit. So his power of fire, personality fire, design fire, development off the charts, bro. Like, impact in the show max. Like, I think he's the greatest character of all time. Y'all can let me know how y'all feel. Any other Avatar: Last Airbender content, let me know. I did drop the character to this. Make sure to go check it out, bro. I've watched it so many times, bro. Like I watch it probably like once every like year, I would say. Once or twice every year. Like, I've been watching it for the last like 5 years, and it just always hits. Maybe I can react to it on here if y'all want to see it, but I can't wait for new stuff. I know the movies are coming, so I can't wait for that. Whatever we can do with reactions, reviews, definitely content there. Whatever content y'all want to see with Avatar: Last Airbender, let me know. I do appreciate the support. Let me know how y'all feel about Zuko. Let me know what y'all want to see next. I'm gonna catch y'all then. Make sure to subscribe.